Hello everyone. So pretty big escalation in Ukraine and Europe last night. The Polish Air Force ended up using F-16s along with NATO allies' Air Force jets to intercept a Russian drone swarm which crossed the border of Poland. We don't have too many videos yet, but I'm going to play two without me talking which show the sound of the aircraft in the skies of Poland. The defence of Poland against these drones included F-16s of Poland, Holland, and the United States, as well as F-35s from the US and possibly Poland as well, who started flying their F-35s in February 2025. Italy was also involved, but I'm not sure whether they sent fighter jets up or just AWACS aircraft to sort of coordinate the defence of Poland here. The multiple drones entered Poland over a 9-hour period. This was part of a large-scale drone and missile strike on Ukraine by Russia. The map, which is on screen now, tracks all of the drones and missiles targeting Ukraine. Here's a zoomed-in section showing the incursions over the border into Poland. So to me, it looks like at least 14 drones in total were tracked penetrating Polish airspace, with a few more coming close to the border and then being intercepted. Those ones, I don't know whether finally Poland and NATO started intercepting drones over Ukraine heading towards Polish airspace, or if these were downed by Ukraine's own SAM defences. So this is a huge escalation. We've seen individual drones enter Polish airspace and Moldovan airspace and Romanian airspace in the past, but we've never seen this many, at least 14 drones enter. The drone swarm also forced the temporary closing of Warsaw Airport, as shown by the statement here, translated into English. Now, reports and information on the damage caused are still trickling in. Poland has reported that most of the drones were intercepted, so I'm not sure how many actually impacted the ground or not, if any. But we have a photo here showing damage to a house. Now, I struggle enough with Ukrainian town names, the Polish ones are even harder. This is from the village of Wyriki, showing a house that got damaged in the attack. Not sure if a drone hit it directly or just debris from an intercepted drone landing on here. At the time of recording, this is the only damage we have photos of so far, but I expect more will trickle in the coming hours. Now, in addition, I also have some flight data to look at showing multiple military aircraft and tankers in the air around Poland. Firstly, this one here shows the flight of one of Poland's AWACS aircraft during the operations. You can see that first of all it started flying very close to the border region, but because of the incursions from the drones, it started moving further back and then found a optimal loitering range where it moved north and south in a sort of squish loop in order to monitor the incursion by the drones and help the fighter jets find the targets to intercept. This aircraft was operational for about 9 hours. I believe during that period it did land for a short spell in order to refuel and then get back up into the air again. And these images here show an American F-35 followed shortly by a tanker refueling it. So, this is likely the US F-35 engaged here in intercepting the Shahed drones. I guess it is possible that America scrambled an F-35s which are based in Poland just in case the drones landed on the airbase and just had them loitering. But I think this one was involved in combat operations, as it has been reported online that F-35s and F-16s were involved in the defence of Poland here. And here, on screen now, is a statement by the Polish Armed Forces which I'll read out for you, translated into English. This says, as a result of an attack by the Russian Federation on Ukrainian territory, there was an unprecedented violation of Polish airspace by drone-type objects. This is an attack of aggression that posed a real threat to the safety of our civilians. On the order of the operational commander of the Polish Armed Forces, defensive procedures were immediately activated. Polish and Allied assets radar tracked several objects, and the operational commander of the Polish Armed Forces made decisions to neutralise those that could pose a threat. Some of the drones that entered our airspace were shot down. efforts are underway to search for and locate the possible crash sites of these objects. The operational command of the Polish Armed Forces is monitoring the situation, and Polish and Allied forces and assets remain fully prepared for further actions. So it seems to me those just Air Force jets used in intercepting the Shaheds here, rather than ground-based air defence systems. I wonder if this was deliberate to avoid giving away the positions of NATO SAM systems and air defence systems positioned in Poland to Russia, so they used Air Force jets instead. It could also have just been that it was decided that the Air Force jets, the F-16s and the F-35s, was the better choice to intercept them all, and less likely to miss and that sort of thing. So a huge escalation here, and this has been on the cards for a while. Drones have entered NATO airspace multiple times before, and even impacted on Poland and Romania. And NATO did nothing. So Russia has basically taken that as permission that we could now take the piss and NATO wouldn't do anything about it. Now, I don't know if this was deliberate, perhaps to either test Polish air response or just basically see what we could get away with, or if it was a result of these drones being jammed by Ukraine's electronic warfare equipment going off target, misprogrammed, or just shoddy engineering by Russia, meaning they couldn't be guided properly. But I think this pretty much came about because of a lack of action by NATO with the past drone incursions. That basically sent the message to Russia: do what you like, we're not going to react to it or intercept it. Russia only understands force. As soon as the very first Russian drone penetrated NATO airspace, in the past, NATO should have established a 50-kilometre no-fly zone around the border regions, at the very least. Now, we've seen multiple drones cross the border to such a degree that the Polish and US Air Forces had to intercept them. This needs a huge response from NATO. Again, at the minimum, it now needs a no-fly zone around the border regions. Any Russian drone or missile which enters that no-fly zone is being shot down by air defence, because this posed a massive threat to Polish citizens. We saw one building damaged by a drone that landed on it that could easily have killed somebody. And if not intercepted, these could have easily landed in a Polish city. Not to mention the risk to the pilots. We've seen Ukrainian aircraft get caught in the backblast of an intercepted drone before and end up crashing. It's happened quite a few times. This could easily have happened here as well. So Russia, either deliberately or just through sheer carelessness, risks the lives of not only Polish citizens, but also NATO aircrew. And if Poland or NATO doesn't react here, then Russia is just going to do it again. I just can't see this being an accident. One drone crossing the border could potentially be an accident. Multiple screams deliberate to me. Now, I don't think these were aimed specifically at something. I don't think Russia had crossed that line just yet. I think this was a Russian attempt here to test Polish and NATO's response, see how successful they are at detecting and intercepting shared drones, see whether NATO would bother intercepting them, and of course to see what the future response is going to be, and see what we can actually get away with. If there's no response from NATO here, then Russia is certainly going to do it again, and on a much larger scale. This needs NATO to do something to respond. So that's it for this video. Hope you found it interesting. If so, please click like and subscribe. I'd appreciate it. Now, I'm going to play a video from Sanath about the ongoing fundraiser that he's doing. His donation link is in the description. I'll play the video now. Thanks so much and take care, everybody.
Well, hello, Super Miners community. It's Sanath here, coming to you from the basement, otherwise known as the bunker. I hope everyone's doing really well. It's been several months since we spoke last, and this month marks the 2-year anniversary from when we first started working with the Super Miners community, the very generous and supportive community. And, you know, out here, you're always tottering from one crisis after the other, problem after problem. Priorities are changing all the time. I never really get time to look back on what we've done together and what we've achieved, but it is worth it. You know, we've done so much to help in this effort, in this conflict. Drones, multiple vehicles, Pajeros, L200s, generators, engines, battery packs, winter equipment, night vision capabilities, you name it. We've really been there making a massive difference to these guys. And over the course of time, all your donations, large and small, they've added up incrementally to make a massive difference in this conflict and shape things according to how we want them to emerge. Now, I've hit a bit of a problem here. We've hit a bit of a problem. We recently lost a couple of vehicles. They lasted multiple years. I think that one of them lasted 2 years and the other one like 18 months. So they've done a lot of work and they've seen the hotter spots of this conflict. But yeah, we're really stuck now because we need to try and get a couple of vehicles, 3 vehicles ideally, over the line and delivered to the guys as soon as possible. And of course, vehicles are the hardest part of this project because it's not like buying something online and just delivering it. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong with vehicles. On top of that, they have a 1,000-mile journey from the west of Europe to Ukraine. And we don't supply our vehicles just in standard format. We strip out the engine, normally install the BMW engine, strip out all the electronics, all those nasty things that can go wrong and become really unreliable without any warning whatsoever, and leaves you like a sitting duck. So yeah, that's the work we do. And but of course, all our work is underpinned by a budget, a foundation, which is the generous donations that you provide. So with your support, we'll continue this fight and yeah, bring this to a very satisfactory conclusion. Take care, everyone.